Hey everybody, it's Jimmy and Bill. So we got a really good one today, okay? And we did not pre-read this one.
Right.
So we're going to read it live, well, recording, you know? So we don't know what's going to say, but what is it about, Bill?
All right, so this article's topic is the new American dream is to leave. Most in the U.S. don't believe hard work will get you ahead and would take a pay cut for a better quality of life. Here's why the old dream is crumbling.
Okay, my opinion is I think hard work does pay off. I really do believe that. But let's see what this article is, see what we agree with, what we disagree with. In the meantime, if you like these kind of content, you know, it's greatly appreciated if you guys consider subscribing, hit the like, and hit the bell notification so you're notified next time we upload one. So let's get started. You want to read the...
Yeah, I'll start off with us. All right, so the American dream has turned into a fantasy for many people living in the U.S. At the heart of the national ethos is the belief that anyone can achieve a happy life through hard work and perseverance. This was often symbolized by raising a family in a large house surrounded by a white picket fence with 2 cars in the driveway.
All right, let's talk about that one, okay?
Okay.
So, hard work, I believe, could help achieve the American dream, okay? I don't think it hurts. I believe in hard work, but other things that are as more important than hard work is if you have your health, in my opinion. If you don't have your health, you know, not fault of your own, you're not doing anything crazy, drugs or whatever it is, you know, I think, you know, it can make it difficult to achieve the American dream when you don't have your health. What do you think of that one?
Well, yeah, obviously, if you're battling, unfortunately, health issues, that's just another level of stress. It distracts you, and it, you know, health issues come in a lot of different forms. Yeah. It doesn't have to be like you broke your leg or you have an actual... It
can be just stress.
Right, which is a health issue.
Taking care of a loved one or whatever. Yeah. Tell us what you guys think on this one.
Yeah.
All right, but 45% of people think the American dream is no longer holds true, according to the Wall Street Journal NORC poll from October, while 18% think it never held true. What do you think of that one?
Well, I guess you have to define, because this could be subjective, right? What's hard work for people? So is it, you know, a hard day's labor? Or are we talking maybe, instead of what hard work defined as, work ethic? And actually putting forth all the effort that you can for the day that you're at the job. Does that make sense? Yeah,
but see, like, I met a lot of young people that they want to buy a house, and and because of the prices and because of interest rates, I mean, no fault of their own, you know, they went, I know a particular couple, they went to college, they got jobs, they're making almost 6 figures, and they still can't afford a house, you know? So it's no fault of their own that the interest rates are, what, now, 7.5%? I don't know what today's rates are, you know, so things are out of their control, and prices and inflation. So...
Right, because everything's starting to eat away at the bottom line, you know, gas, milk, all that stuff. But so I guess what it boils back down to, we'll circle back to where we were saying, you know, maybe it's hard work and perseverance. So everybody's definition of hard work is going to be different. So in your example with these folks that went to college, they worked hard, they made it through college, that's hard work. They want to buy a house right now, but they can't because they're not just making enough money, they're just into the workforce.
So they feel like the American dream is not there for them.
Right, well, but I would say that would be, for me, where my definition would go, you know, now you have to do perseverance. And you have to keep chugging away. Just because you made it through college doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have to continue your education so you can get, you know, move up the chain in your company or in your profession, whatever the case is. So
that makes sense, and just save your money. So what do folks strive for now? What is the new American dream?
To be a TikToker?
What does it say?
I haven't looked at the article.
All right, go ahead. What does it say?
Oh, for some, like TikTok influencer. So it says for some, like TikTok influencer, or even, you know, an Instagram influencer, and full-time traveler Brian Ellis, the new American dream is to leave, which I think is interesting.
To leave what, the United States?
Yeah, it says as many Americans experience economic disenfranchisement at home, a few may be looking beyond U.S. borders to locate life's sparkle. New American Dream. The Association of American Residents Overseas estimated that at least 5.4 million Americans lived abroad in 2023.
Oh, I didn't realize there was that many.
Interesting. The biggest share of expats, 40%, are thought to live in the Western Hemisphere: Canada, Central and South America, and Europe, 26%, while 14% headed to East Asia and the Pacific.
You know what? I was born in Canada. I love Canada, you know, but to me, I'm not good with the cold, and it's only so south you go in Canada.
Right.
And it's still cold.
It's still cold.
You know, because
it's still north.
It's still north. You know, the other places, I wouldn't mind trying out a different country. You know, and do it, but because of family and kids and, you know, parents here and stuff, it would be difficult. But for some people, it might be.
It could work. So, like in my situation, you know, we're looking at South America.
Right.
And it just works for our family because that's where they're from.
Peru?
Yeah, like Peru, South America area, somewhere in that general region. And things would be easier in some senses, but then harder in others. So you kind of have to weigh the differences out and really kind of take a look at it. But I can see the allure of maybe moving to somewhere else, depending on what your motivation is for that.
So continue.
Yeah. Ellis described in a video posted June 23rd that for some, the new dream was to pack up and head to a quaint European town or beachside village in Asia. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Somewhere where we aren't being positioned by or poisoned by our food, excuse me. We don't need 2 to 3 jobs to survive, and where healthcare isn't the lux but the norm.
All right, let's stop there. Okay. So it's kind of true, okay? Because in Canada, anybody can get healthcare.
Okay.
But the problem also is, like, I had a cousin that needed knee surgery, and they're like, oh yeah, you need knee surgery. Call us in 6 to 8 months, you know? Over here, it's better.
Right.
So over there, it's free. Over here, it's much more expensive, and insurance is ridiculous. Like, I pay a fortune for insurance. Right. But at the same time, you know, in order for me to use up my deductible, I gotta get hit by a truck or something, you know, a bus, you know?
Okay.
That's
maybe something smaller.
Yeah, something smaller. So I guess what my point is other countries, you know, they have more relaxed atmosphere. Like my parents have the house in Greece, and like in the afternoon, they'll take a nap.
Right. It's just kind of
everything's like laid back.
Yeah.
I think maybe in the United States right now, things are too stressful for people.
I could agree with that. So, you know, paralleling with you, when we do go to like Lima or just Peru, you know, in general, depending on where we stay, whether it be Lima, Cusco, things like that, different towns, the atmospheres are very different. But like if you go downtown in Lima, it's just like every other downtown. It's busy, hustle, bustle. But I would say that the atmosphere feels a little bit different, but I'm only there for a short period of time, so
but when you're out,
but
do people feel less stressful? Like over here, you just tell from how people are driving, they're very aggressive and all that stuff.
Driving there is a little probably a bad example.
Okay, I've never been there, so I don't know.
Driving there is interesting, but it's all kind of like slow speed.
Okay.
I'm less stressed there driving because everything is slower speed. It's a little more crazy once you figure out the rules because there really aren't any. But what I do notice is like people take lunch. Nobody's like, I need my food, I need my food. You know, that kind of atmosphere is gone. And if you could just go outside the city, everybody's walking, you know, everybody's outside. If you just get away from like that downtown corridor, it's just totally different. So
basically, the point of this one is, yes, other countries have some, like when we went to Ireland, it was really nice.
Yeah.
Driving there, because it was the opposite side of the road. I thought the left lane was the fast lane, the right lane was the slow lane, and everybody's beeping at me because I'm on the right lane going slow. So, and there's a lot of roundabouts in Ireland.
Yeah, but you learn those things.
But I learned those things, but at the end of the day, they seem a lot less stressed than a lot of Americans.
Yeah, I would tend to agree that we are a little bit more uptight.
Yes, that's the point of this
Yep.
last 3 minutes.
Yep.
So basically, some places where people stop and appreciate the little things and enjoy the slow life. A safe place where community comes together and supports one another. Clearly, the young American is searching for a more affordable, flexible than she believes or he believes can experience in the U.S. It's true. It's true that people, you know, the young people now, you know, you're supposed to have it easier than your parents. Okay?
Right, that's like the goal. Yes.
The goal. Every generation, you know, like, I had it easier than my parents. They had it easier than my grandparents. But now I can honestly say, you know, like what, AJ's 28, Christian's 25. They don't have it easier than I had it. They have to, because they're more, we're going to do a video on this too, you know, young. But I think things are more difficult for them now than it was at our age, you know, when I was their age.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I think just dynamics and just even thinking about like just the just congestion in general. Simple things like holding the door for people, saying thank you, or when you let somebody pass you because you stop and then they can't take the 5 seconds to raise their hand and say thank you.
Yeah,
just
there's a lot of
angry
people, and the whole thing is, I blame a lot of it on politics too, and I think politics is stupid, you know, in some senses the way it goes. You know, it's been a tricky few years for affordability standpoint for many Americans. The Federal Reserve efforts to curb post-pandemic inflation by hiking interest rates have increased the cost of borrowing and reduced American purchasing power. We could do a whole video on that.
I was to say, but are we?
You know, inflation is still rampant.
Still going up.
And I don't see interest rates coming down because, you know,
people are still spending a ton of money.
Yeah, and we're actually going to do a video on that, the next video.
The lead-in.
The lead-in to the next video. So make sure you watch the next video because it's about people, you know. We're just a quick recap.
Yeah.
You know, people are spending money when they don't have it.
Right.
It's just like, okay, I'm buying it.
Yeah. And patience. Again, it goes back to patience. Having patience to, maybe you can't get everything that you want right this second, but you might have to wait a little bit for it. So here's the next little blurb. This has forced a lot of Americans to focus more on short-term goals, such as paying rent on time and putting food on the table, over longer-term goals, homeownership, raising a family, and retirement. That one might traditionally associate with the American dream. I get that. So I guess it depends on where you're at. Are we talking like the younger generation, first, you know, job, getting into the workforce, the older generation where you've been in the workforce? You know, I guess it would kind of depend on where you're at. But I would agree with this, that a focus shift to, holy crap, I have to pay my car payment, food's doubled, power went up 50 some odd %. You know, those things that you just, your day-to-day life, things that you have to have, has gone up so much, and that's the focus versus maybe putting money away into your 401k or whatever the case is for you. So it says, dollars behind the dream. Cost is one of the key factors behind the demise of the American dream. Recent analysis by Investopedia revealed that you now need a whopping $3.4 million to cover the costs of traditional American dream milestones such as marriage, raising children, and owning a home.
You know something? I believe that one now, okay? Because between the house, average house, what, 500,000, 400, whatever it is.
We'll just call it 500, it's almost
500, there. You know, college, food, insurances.
Right.
You know, by the time you're all done, yeah, you're in the millions.
Of course, yeah, over the working lifetime. Yeah, that makes total sense.
I agree with that.
This really, really does make sense.
I can do this one.
Okay.
But most Americans fall short of the target by over $1 million. The average lifetime earnings of Americans across the education level is closer to $2.3 million, according to Investopedia. leaving a big financial gap that forces people to reassess their goals in life. Right, if you don't make enough.
If you're not making money, you have to adjust.
Yeah.
Simple.
And it's stressful.
Oh yeah, just again, adds to your stress levels and health issues and all that we talked about at the beginning.
Stress is like the worst.
Yeah.
You know?
We've been misled to believe that life is about enduring our circumstances and place of birth. But it is not a requirement in life that you have to stay in the same place that you were born and spend your life struggling, Ellis said in her video. The fact is, the old American dream just simply does not serve us anymore.
I don't know, hopefully it comes back. Because,
Yeah.
you know, family is very important. You know,
of course.
People are having less and less kids now, and I understand that. And there was a survey done that people rather own a house than have a kid. There was a survey, actually. I don't remember where I saw it, but it said that they're like, hey, if you could choose between having a kid and having a house, what would you pick? Well, they're like, yeah, we want a house, you know?
Right, and I think that's just some generational shift too.
Yeah.
Let's see. One look at the attainability, excuse me, one look at the attainability of basic element of the traditional American dream, home ownership, is telling. According to the real estate brokerage Redfin, 2023 was the least affordable year for home buying on record. To buy a median priced home worth $408,806 with the median U.S. income of $78,642, you would have had to spend a record 41.4% of your earnings on housing costs, up from 38.7% in 22 and 31% in 21.
And you know what's ridiculous about that? When I used to do mortgages, our ratios were, and I'll explain real quick what ratios are, was 28-36 to get a mortgage.
Okay.
So 28% of your overall gross income towards housing and 36% overall for everything, you know?
Right.
So it's 20, you know, car payments.
Yeah, for like unsecured debt.
Yeah, unsecured debt. So 28-36. Now, imagine spending 41% of your income.
Right. That's insane. That's crazy.
It's insane.
It really is. That's a very hard thing, and then just you know, we could go down. We've talked about this in other videos where we just have to catch up.
Yeah.
You know, we've got to catch up to where we were at.
To buy the same home without spending more than 30% of your income, a popular rule of thumb among personal finance experts, you would need an annual salary of $109,868, according to Redfin, which is $31,226 more than a typical household makes in a year. It's not all about the money. A lot of people don't make that kind of money.
Right. That's a different group, and again, that's a household income.
Yeah. Many markers of the old dream are simply out of reach for a number of Americans, which led them to adjust their priorities. True.
Yep, makes sense.
Okay. The majority of Americans, 51%, would be willing to take a 20% pay cut to achieve a lifestyle that focuses on quality of life, according to a recent survey by automaker Ford. Millennials were most willing to trade income for a better work-life balance at 60%, followed by Gen Zs at 56%, Gen Xs at 43%, and baby boomers at 33%.
Kind of makes sense. I mean,
yeah, I would take a pay cut for a better quality of life.
Right. I was going to say, boomers are kind of in the realm of retirement. So your mindset, when you hit that retirement age, it's different.
What, I'm 57, so I think I'm a Gen X, right? Yeah, I'm a Gen X.
Yep, you're a Gen X because, yeah, we're in the same group.
Yeah, so as a Gen X, yeah, I would definitely take a pay cut for a less.
Right, because we both retired.
Yeah.
And technically, when you retire, you are taking a pay cut because it's a less stressful lifestyle.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Interestingly, while 72% of Americans agreed it isn't worth working a job that increases your personal stress, more baby boomers answered in the affirmative, 79%, than Gen X at 72%, millennials 63%, and Gen Zs were 66%.
Wow.
I get it, because, you know, I could have kept moving up in my previous profession, but for me at the time, I didn't care about the additional pay that I would receive, or that I would continue to receive because of, you know, my pension. I didn't want the additional stress.
Yeah,
and responsibility. I just wasn't at that point. It was, but there's other people that they don't mind that. So, you know, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, me, I like changing it up. You know, like, I love doing home inspections, but I like doing insurance inspections, and I like doing other aspects of it. Doing the same thing over and over again.
There was a study out there a while ago. I doubt I can even find it, but to paraphrase, there was a certain year where you should have, like, if you haven't changed your job, and I want 18 sticks in my head, that if you haven't changed your job, you've done the same thing for 18 years, you're completely burned out and you have to have a change, like just to keep yourself sane.
Yeah,
like that's no change whatsoever. So it makes sense.
Okay, is it possible to achieve a balanced personal life on limited income, freedom and flexibility? Ellis, the virtues of being a digital nomad, whatever that means. Hands down, the best part of being a U.S. citizen is our ability to leave the U.S. and travel abroad to seek out a better life. Hopefully you go to a safe place. Some people just don't like Americans. Ellis said, let's take a moment and recognize how lucky we are and that we can leave. It's true.
Yep.
We could leave, you know. Go for it.
All right. It goes on to say, let's focus on getting remote jobs or building online businesses, grab our passports, and take advantage of the fact that because of the internet, we have the ability to earn US level income from anywhere in the world. And I would totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And that's...
Especially remote jobs, if you could work from your laptop.
Right. Now, I would say that my argument to this, on this statement alone, for the article would be, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're losing our American dream. I think that just like with anything else, the invention of the car, things like that, it's just our world has evolved and it's opened different opportunities.
Yeah, the whole thing too is like a lot of YouTube creators aren't even in the United States, and their biggest market is the United States.
Right.
You know, one YouTube creator that I've been following, he was in Japan just now, you know, and he did all his videos from Japan, you know. Has his phone, does the videos.
He's good to go.
Yeah, never lose a heartbeat, so it's true.
Yeah, the lifestyle Ellis is describing bears some resemblance to parts of the traditional American dream. Notability, the notions of equal opportunity and prosperity through hard work and determination, just not in the United States. Rather than trying to achieve a certain social status based on assets owned, perhaps the American dream today is more about an attitude that Americans carry with them wherever they are in the world.
It's true.
100% true.
So to wrap this up, basically, I don't think the American dream is dead.
No.
I just think that now with technology, AI, the laptop, the internet, you could achieve the American dream and try different things in different countries.
Yep.
And because of air travel and stuff, it's not like, you know, in the past it takes forever to get, you know.
Right.
You can fly anywhere you want.
Yep.
So you know, if you have the ability to experience other parts of the world, you know, other countries and everything, I think it's great.
Go for it.
Go for it.
I think the more people broaden their horizons and views and viewpoints around the world, experiencing different cultures, the better off you are. And then sometimes even more than maybe you appreciate what you have back home where, you know, you're from.
Yeah, because you go to a country and say, oh, this is horrible. Then you go, oh, well, in the United States, you know, it's fine, you know?
Right.
And all that stuff. Anyways, that's today's video. So basically, do me a favor, consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel, and we will talk to you in the next one.
Thanks. See you soon.
Also, check out the next video. It's either over here or over here. All right. Speak to you soon. Bye.